Having all of our music on our iPad is a great solution, I think, and forScore has always been my go-to app to do this. And today I'd like to tell you about a fantastic little feature called set lists that you might be surprised just how many different things you can do with them. Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin. If you're not familiar with the term set lists, it's a little like playlists that we have with iTunes, for example, and other apps we use for listening to music. The basic idea with them is that rather than constantly needing to search through our catalogue of music, we can group things together to make them easier to find. However, once you understand all of the features, you might be surprised at just how very useful they can actually be. Perhaps the most obvious example of when you'd use a set list is if you were given a performance of some kind and you want to avoid that awkward gap between pieces. By having them organised in a set list, you can basically just keep turning the page to go from one piece to the next with no break. However, set lists can be used in a lot more ways than that and can be a great tool for our practice if we put them into place. So let's go onto the iPad and have a look at how we can use them. Within forScore, there's an icon at the top of the screen that we use to access our set lists. As you might guess, we can have as many set lists as we want. For me, my main ones are my practice plan, so those are the things on which I'm currently working. Parked, and those are pieces I've put to one side for now and intend to come back to later. Known pieces are those that I've learned and would consider things that I can already play. Next up are pieces I've come across and would like to learn. And of course, my maintenance list is those pieces I'm trying to keep nice and fresh in my fingers and my memory. Organising things in this way makes it easy for me to pick whatever set of music I want to work on at any one point in time. Now, from this window, we have an add option and we have an edit option. So let's start at the beginning and add a set list. We simply click on the little add, give it a name and click create. We also have the option to choose whether we want it at the top or the bottom of our current list of set lists. Once we click create, we'll be taken to that set list and now we can start adding our pieces to it. To do this, we click the add symbol and this will bring up our standard scores list, pretty much the same as we have for search in our catalogue. Now we can either scroll through the list or use the search features. We then simply choose whichever scores we want and add them. Don't forget that we can add the same piece to multiple set lists if we so wish. We can also add a score to our playlists from the score itself. Simply click the title at the top and it will open the metadata window. We click on the set lists and from here we can add the score to any of our existing set lists. And we can also do the same from the main scores list. If we click on the little I symbol, this takes us to the metadata for that score and we can again choose set lists and add it to whichever one we wish. Now another thing to point out is that we can also add bookmarks to our set lists. If you're not familiar with bookmarks, these are where we have perhaps an entire book of music that we've downloaded and we want to separate out only one of the pieces from that book. So here, for example, I have the entire set of Chopin etudes. However, I'm only practicing number 3, and so I've added just that part of the book to my set list using a bookmark. However, creating our set lists is only the beginning. We have the ability to sort these set lists in a few useful ways. First, of course, we can order them manually. This is helpful if we're going to want to play through our pieces in a specific order. However, we can also order them by the title, we can shuffle them, and a very interesting feature is fresh, which actually puts them in the order of the least recently played. This is particularly handy if we want to ensure we regularly play certain things and we're not then reliant on our memory. We simply click fresh and the things we haven't played for the longest time appear at the top of the list. Incidentally, we have some of the same options when choosing the order of our set lists themselves. Of course, moving a piece from one set list to another is also super simple. From the metadata screen for that piece, we simply select and deselect as we need. Now, going back to our set lists window, if we choose Edit, we have some interesting options. Delete, edit, duplicate, I think don't really need any explanation. The clue, as it were, is in the title. However, the share feature is very clever. We can share the setlist with other forScore users. This might be particularly helpful where we're due to perform or practice with other musicians. No more photocopying, binding and distributing. Simply save it and send it with or without the scores. This can then be uploaded by anybody else using forScore onto their own device. However, sometimes we might actually want a single file with all the scores included. This could be to print out or to use on a device without forScore. We can also simply get a list of the pieces. How else do you think you might be able to use this fabulous feature? Let me know in the comments. There's another amazing feature called layers, which I explain in the video link just here for you. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to Tommy's Piano Corner. Don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you're notified of new videos as and when they're released. I thank you very much for watching today and look forward to seeing you very soon.